ASUN Championship quarterfinals as the Liberty Flames, the top seed in the conference, play host to the NJIT Highlanders. And with that, we welcome you courtside alongside former Liberty player and assistant coach Paul Nazigan. I'm Matt Warner. And Naz, NJIT comes in as the 8th seed. They've already lost twice this season to the Flames. But in that last meeting on this very court just 2.5 weeks ago, it was a 2-point ball game at the half. They were very much in it. Can they take anything away from that night and build on it here this evening?
Yeah, I think so. They did a couple things that were really nice. Suleiman Diakite, San Antonio Brinson played some really great post defense. They're going to need to do that again. Zach Cooks kind of broke out of his Liberty slump, and he's going to need to score tonight. But then I think coming in this game, NJIT has to kind of put a new wrinkle in. They've got to do something to kind of tweak the game plan. I don't think they can come in here and try to play Liberty straight up the way they have before, because that hasn't been successful.
And for the Flames, they are the top seed in the conference, but they also lost their last regular season game at Lipscomb. Was that a little bit of a wake-up call for them?
Yeah, I think so. It is a wake-up call, but not one that's going to rattle them or cause them to doubt or lose their confidence. This team is seasoned. They're experienced. They're very senior-heavy. They're saying the right things. I think they're going to come out and rebound really well.
Take a look now at our impact players presented by Foster Fuels, and we start with NJIT's electrifying Zach Cooks.
Yeah, Zach Cooks led the conference this season as scoring 19.8 points a game. He was selected second team all-conference. He's got the green light at any time. He can score at all 3 levels, but here's what I love about him. He's such a fierce competitor. He really gets after it. And I don't think he gets enough credit for doing it at the defensive end.
And for the Flames, you're going with Scottie James tonight.
Yeah, another great season for Scottie James. Second year in a row. He's first team all-conference. Look, we know he can rebound. We know he can score. He's a great defender. But what I love most about Scottie James is his mindset. How he's just conditioned himself to every possession, give relentless energy. And I look for another huge performance out of Scottie tonight.
The aforementioned Zach Cooks will be critical tonight. With more on him, we check in with Emily Austin.
Yeah, guys, you mentioned that NJIT's Zach Cooks leads the ASUN in scoring, but you wouldn't think that the way that he's played against Liberty. And his 4 career games against the Flames, he shot just 14% from the field. When I asked him, is this just because of Liberty's tough pack line defense, or do your shots just happen to not fall against the Flames? And he said, no, it's me not making shots and not really playing well against them. He admitted, yeah, they do play pretty good defense as a team, but I have to come in and get to my spots and make shots. Guys, we should see these numbers be a little bit different tonight because Cooks really wants to get this win for these Highlander seniors.
Yeah, and they're a team coming off a win in their last regular season contest. They worked over Kennesaw State pretty well, so they're feeling good heading into this one. And really, it will all come down to Zach Cooks, ASUN's leading scorer. They're going to need him to really have a good night against this Flames defense. Teams are ready. Officials are ready. This crowd here in the Vine Center is ready. And postseason play is officially underway. Here we go. Flames control it. Liberty.
Great crowd in here tonight.
27-4 on the year for the Flames. 13-3 in ASUN play. Also one of the better home teams in the nation. Scottie James, they go right to him, off the window, in and out. Here's look the starting 5 for NJIT, some familiar names. Cooks, Gibbs, Walsh, Brinson, and Diakite. Gibbs playing in his 125th game as a member of the Highlanders, most all-time in their program's history. Diakite doubled in the post, looking for some help. Trying to get out of it. He does not. Turns it over.
A great trap by Liberty. Diakite saw it coming, but Liberty did such a great job with it. Homesley just snatched it away.
Usual starting 5 for the Flames. Caleb Homesley, ASUN Conference Player of the Year. Scottie James, first team all-conference. Yep. Second straight year he's done that. They go back to him again. This time he loses the handle, and the Flames turn it right back over.
Yeah, they've gone into Scottie. I think they're just trying to see how they're going to play Scottie. Diakite did a good job last time, as I mentioned in the open. They may just stay one-on-one in the post.
Foul called. That'll go against George Pacheco. He's called for the block. First team foul on the Flames. Diakite, you mentioned the last meeting, 12 points, 9 rebounds. And really in that second half, he was their offense there for a stretch.
Yeah, he sure was. And then again in the first half, he did a great job against Scottie, really held Scottie down with his post defense.
So Diakite gets the first point of the ball game. Let's take a look at Brian Kennedy, 4th season as the head coach of the Highlanders. Led them in a 9-20 regular season, 6-10 record in conference play. And Diakite gets just 1 of 2.
There's a little pressure, which NJIT is kind of known for. They'll bring it up the floor, sometimes token, sometimes they'll turn up the heat.
Yeah, Cooks always near the top of the list as far as steals are concerned in the ASUN Conference.
Yeah, again, I said that. I don't think he gets enough credit. He works so hard defensively.
The lob into Homesley. He catches and lays it in off the window for the first points of the ball game.
Great recognition there. They saw Riley Walsh on Caleb Homesley. Liberty knew they had the advantage there. Nice lob up to Homesley for the finish. Recognizing mismatches. Huge.
Walsh has it on the wing. Get to the veteran Shaquan Gibbs. He's had double-digit nights scoring in both of the meetings against the Flames this year. 5 on the shot clock. Gibbs contested 3, and that missed everything. Richie McKay, head coach for Liberty in his 7th overall season on the Flames bench, and also ASUN Co-Coach of the Year. He, along with Matthew Driscoll in North Florida, take home those honors.
Yeah, Liberty well represented on the, obviously with Co-Coach of the Year and 3 guys making the all-conference teams.
Yeah, the 3rd one, Georgie Pacheco, making the 2nd team. James gets it in the post.
Yeah, 3 touches.
Spins on Diakite, goes up strong and finishes off the backboard for 2.
Yeah, they're going, those big guys, they're really getting a lot of touches. Both teams are for their bigs.
San Antonio Brinson with it now. Homesley on him. Brinson, jump shot. Got a couple of rolls off that rim, but it doesn't fall. And that mid-range game is where he can be awfully good for them.
Yeah, he gets out to 17. He's certainly got a nice jumper from there, but again, he's a guy that can take it off the dribble from there and be effective.
McGee with the taller Brinson on him. A little hesitation. Gets in the paint, wheeling around him, takes a little contact and throws it away.
Yeah, he recognized the mismatch that he had Brinson off the dribble, but couldn't quite complete the pass to Scottie.
Walsh now gets in the lane, but couldn't convert. So a slow start for NJIT. That has not been unusual against the Flames. In the 4 previous meetings, NJIT's averaged under 50 points a ball game. Duffy nearly banked that one in. Gibbs, full head of steam off the window, maybe a little too quick as he was out of control and couldn't connect.
Both teams a little bit sloppy. Some of that may be nerves. You can tell yourself, you know, oh, it's just another game, but things get ratcheted up when it's tournament time.
James again working on Diakite. Gets the home bounce. He has a couple of buckets here in the early going.
Yeah, nice job by Scottie, taking his time. Knew the double wasn't coming. Nice little turnaround baby hook.
Zach Cooks been relatively quiet, certainly for him early on. He's forcing the issue now, draws some contact. No, the rebound to Homesley. Looks like he got maybe hit in the eye as he's wincing as he comes back down.
Yeah, the refs are letting them play. And again, I like that. It's tournament time. Right. Things, you know.
Leaving the players' hands.
Yeah, that's right. There's going to be a little more contact.
Pacheco, the lob. Scottie James couldn't finish. Trying to elevate and hang up there to throw it down. And then at the other end, Cooks a quick trigger. No. A whistle underneath, and that's going to go against NJIT. And that'll get us to a timeout with the Flames leading by 5. Well, this presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Foster Fuels, exceeding expectations since 1921. And by Carter Bank and Trust, proud of the past, focused on the future. Atmosphere for this ASUN quarterfinal game. Let's take a look at the keys to the game presented by Paul Nazigan.
Well, post defense, I mentioned again last time they did a nice job. NJIT did, but this game already, Scottie James 4 points in the paint. They got to clean that up. And then where's Robin? Matt, we know who Batman is. Yeah. Zach Cooks, but he needs some help. Who's going to be his sidekick tonight? Hopefully somebody for NJIT can step up. With Liberty, I think it's about their mental approach. They got to play with fire. You got to not worry about the fact that you're the one and you're playing the 8. Come out here and attack And then lastly, handle some pressure. Again, I talked about NJIT maybe tweaking something. If anything, I think they need to kind of turn up their pressure. Maybe that full court, some trapping. They're good at it, and maybe they can get some points that way.
Well, you're seeing them set up with that pressure right now. So you're exactly right. Brian Kennedy thinking the same way you were, as Scottie James earlier in the ballgame moved into 4th on Liberty's all-time rebound list, passing the great Willard DeShazer. So this senior class for the Flames just assaulting that Liberty record book.
Amazing. All these guys moving up, points, rebounds.
James has it on the wing. Gives it to Homesley. Working on
that mismatch again.
Homesley, no. Fight for the loose ball. Taken by the Flames.
Again, there's Scottie James in action. All he could do was reach back and get a hand on it, but he keeps it alive and Tuck reels it in.
Cuffey, corner 3 is up. Too strong. James fighting for it again. This time tipped away and taken by NJIT. Elijah Cuffey has been in a shooting slump. You keep waiting for him to break out of it. The Flames, if he ever does, that will be great news for this offense.
Yeah, you feel for the kid. He's getting good looks, and it's just not falling.
Gibbs looking in the post, gives it to Diakite.
This time Liberty stays single coverage.
Up and over the top of James, pretty move.
Yeah, we saw that in their last game here a few weeks ago. Nice little soft hook by Diakite.
Just a sophomore, but you see his offensive game really progressing. He's going to be a good one for a couple of more years.
And I like that NJIT's turned up that pressure again. That's what I would do. You just can't afford to sit back and let Liberty kind of grind you to sleep.
Homesley trying to back down Walsh, gets around him, lays it in. That is a matchup nightmare right now for Riley Walsh.
They've stayed with it a couple times. I think 3 times we've seen that matchup. Homesley scored on 2 of them and got a good look on the 3rd.
8-3 Flames. Just about 7 minutes into this one. Brinson has it on the wing. Trying to drive on Homesley. Has to kick it back out. 10 on the shot clock. Gibbs has it deflected. Gets it back. Has to force one up. Missed everything. Great defensive stand by the Flames.
Yeah, good defensive all around. But I think as he went to, Shaquan Gibbs went to deliver that pass, I think McGee got a hand on it. Nice deflection.
Liberty second in the nation in scoring defense, trailing only Virginia. Homesley, there to get him for the offensive foul. Yeah, good call. Using that off arm to create some space. That'll be his first.
And nice job by Walsh. Didn't back down. He stuck his chest in there. Got square with the offensive player and was able to draw the offensive foul.
Mile Baxter-Bell, Kyle Rowe checking in for the Flames. For NJIT, Xavier Mayo coming in, the freshman out of New York.
Again, this NJIT team has almost everybody back next year. So you're seeing some guys that are young and maybe things didn't always pan out in the win column for them this year, but they got a good group back led by the guy with the ball.
Walsh with it on the wing, trying to drive now on Homesley, spinning around him and denied. Homesley so long, able to get that left hand up there and knock it away.
Yeah, nice move, nice spin move by Walsh. Most people, he'd be laying that thing in, but the long arm of the law said, not this time.
Zach Cooks received the pass, fouled by Elijah Cuffey. These teams, and we were talking about it before the game, that there's not a lot of love lost between these two. 4 total technical fouls in the 2 previous meetings. There was some jawing going on already.
I think, even now we got a little bit of talk going on, but these teams are competitive. And
Brinson spots up, a little short with that 3-point attempt. Shiloh Robinson is also checked in for Liberty, so Flames with a couple of freshmen out there right now. Baxter-Bell working on the freshman, nearly lost it, nearly threw it away. Somehow the Flames keep possession. Now it's taken away, nearly, and chased down in the backcourt. 9 on the shot clock. After all that, the Flames still have the basketball. Oh, stopping on a dime. 3-ball, bang! Wow. Oh, the young fella, Darius McGee gets it to go.
He knew exactly what he wanted to do with that. Yo-yoed him a little bit.
Well, you forget about an ugly possession if it ends that way.
Yeah.
And now they'll get Shiloh Robinson with the hand check. His first foul. Darius McGee got this fine center up on their feet. A little hesitation, a little crossover, step back triple. Flames lead it by 8.
Welcome back to the ASUN Quarterfinals at the Vine Center. It may have been a shock to some when Liberty dropped its final regular season game of the season to Lipscomb on Saturday when the Bison shot 81% from the field and 90% from 3. It also raised the eyebrows of head coach Richie McKay. He said that he hasn't seen a stat sheet like that at halftime in quite some time. Having been in a defensive system like the pack line the last 11 years, those stat sheets are very uncommon. He added, the maturity will be shown in how quickly we learn from it and turn the page here tonight.
Yeah, well, they've seemed to have done that. 1 of 10 from the field so far. Make it now 2 of 11 as Zach Cooks has a conversation with that Flames bench on his way back down.
Yeah, he had a little conversation last time that gave him a tee, but I don't know. He's got some friends down there.
He's not shy.
No.
He's not a shy personality, that is for sure.
Well, he's a guy that I think, some of these guys like to get themselves going.
Whistle and a foul. Heady play there by Mile Baxter-Bell. As Xavier Mayo left his feet, Baxter-Bell just kind of slid right underneath and drew the foul.
Yeah, and he kind of threw it up there. Didn't fall for him, but good heads-up play. But no, I was going to say, some guys feed off of adversity.
Yeah.
Some guys kind of create a little bit of adversity where they are, especially on the road, things like that. It kind of gets them going. I think Cooks is kind of one of those guys, but then when he gets scoring and when he gets that full head of steam, he is a tough guy to defend.
Baxter-Bell gets both free throws to fall. The senior out of Cincinnati. It's his first 2 points of the night. Flames leading 13-5. LeVar Williams, freshman in there right now, gives it to Brinson. Brinson, good crossover, pull-up jumper in rhythm. Short, the rebound to Mayo. Tries to kick it out, gets it out to Cooks. The layup, no good. Fight for the rebound, and we're going to get an over-the-back call going against Mayo, I believe. As we get a look at Brian Kennedy. Can't be thrilled with what he's seen so far.
Well, Mayo did a nice job the previous shot. Went up, got himself an offensive rebound, really battled. The second shot, he got a little bit out of control coming over the back of Kyle Road, but you like to see a freshman just getting after it. It's a big game, it's a tournament game. You can live with a guy that gets a foul off because he's playing aggressively.
McGee catches, fires, in and out. The rebound taken by Scottie James, trapped on the baseline, just throws it off the defender, and the Flames will keep it. You see a little zone there from NJIT.
Yeah, and Darius McGee's eyes lit up when he saw the zone.
No hesitation.
Yeah, he hit one, last couple possessions ago from that place. That one didn't fall, but you know who was on the offensive glass.
Get back to McGee, kicks, corner 3 from Road. That's well strong. Knocked out of bounds, it will stay with the Flames.
Well, that's a problem with the zone, Matt. They've got some good coverage, the shots aren't falling, but in a zone, you got to go find a man. And the offensive teams can find a gap in there and get an offensive rebound. So zone has advantages, but it also has some disadvantages. Baxter-Bell
kicks it out to Road. Right back to Mayo. Nearly had it taken out of his hand. Now puts it on the deck. Road thought about the 3. Kicks it again. They got an open Cuffey. Now he'll put it on the deck. Good ball movement. McGee had an open look, passed on it, gives it up to Road to beat the shot clock, but it's off the mark.
Wow, that was a scramble.
It was.
Liberty was moving the ball, but gosh, NJIT was right there. Great recovery.
Brinson has it stripped. Ball's loose on the deck. Road there. And they're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow will stay with the Highlanders.
Yeah, that was a frantic scramble down the other end. NJIT really got out. They were hustling out of that zone to cover shooters. I think Mayo just kind of deflected that, and they get the tie up.
Well, this is being played like a postseason game right now. You're seeing the type of attitude, the
physicality.
And physicality. Yeah, absolutely.
And again, you come in at NJIT, you don't have to worry about You're the 8th seed.
Right.
Whatever. Everybody's 0-0. You have a chance to advance. That gives teams life.
LeVar Williams took an extra step. So the turnover, number 2 on the Highlanders so far tonight. Neither of these teams turn it over much at all.
Yeah.
The top 2 teams in the conference as far as that goes.
Those Highlanders are staying in this extended 2-3 zone.
Flames, Caleb Homesley back in there, nearly turned it over. Pacheco finds Scottie James in the paint, goes up strong, and got the friendly roll to fall. Scottie's got 6.
Good job to find that weak spot right in the heart of the zone. Good flash by Scottie.
NJIT's getting their hand on the basketball. They've nearly forced a handful of turnovers so far.
Yeah, and again, that was Zach Cooks. You see, he is a really good defender. He's certainly got quickness, athleticism. Nice cut right there.
Had a good look, couldn't convert on the layup. Those have been the kind of shots that just haven't fallen against Liberty over the past couple of seasons for Cooks.
Makes some great moves, and he's right there at the rim, just doesn't fall.
Came in averaging just 6 points per game against Liberty in his last 4 contests. This is the guy that averages close to 20 a game.
Yes.
Baxter Bell gets in the paint. Good ball movement. Deep 3 coming from McGee. Off the mark. The rebound secured by Brinson.
Liberty's got the ball into the paint on penetration, and I'm kind of waiting for him to kind of rise up for a little 6-8 footer, but they kind of have preferred to kind of penetrate, but then kick it out to the perimeter guys for 3s.
Liberty 1 of 6 from downtown.
As I say, they're getting those looks, but hasn't really fallen for them yet.
Cooks trying to hang with McGee. He gets free. Corner triple off the mark. Again, another good look.
Yes.
Just couldn't get it to fall. Diakite.
Yeah, he got it deep. That could be trouble.
Kicks out. Brinson 3 ball. That's pure. They needed that. San Antonio Brinson's first points of the ball game.
Great shot by Brinson. Again, we talk about him. He can step out. He can stretch a defense even at that 4 spot that he's playing right now.
Remember, he scored 37 in the game earlier this year against North Florida.
And that was really the performance of the season in the ASUN.
Baxter Bell gets it in the post, working on Brinson. Backing him down. Going to that right hand. They wave it off and say a foul on the floor. So the whistle against Brinson will get us to a timeout. Offensively, Scottie James has been the leader for the Flames so far tonight. 6 early points for the senior as Liberty leads it by 7. You're watching the ASUN Championship on ESPN+. Liberty Flames football are Cure Bowl champions. Head coach Hugh Freeze is ready to lead the Flames in 2020 against a tough schedule. Season tickets on sale now, starting at just $70. Get yours at libertyflames.com/tickets. Take a look at the bracket here at the ASUN Championship.
It's the time of year we get to talk about brackets.
Boy, that's
I love it.
isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Take a look. North Alabama, Stetson playing as we speak. So too are North Florida and Jacksonville. Lipscomb, FGCU coming up here in about 30 minutes. And remember, they reseed after the quarterfinals. So let's take a look at the scores right now. What's going on around the ASUN, and perhaps some surprises brewing. Jacksonville right there with North Florida to have, and
look at
Alabama taking it to Stetson right now.
Yeah, I knew that 5-4 game. Well, I mean, that's always kind of a tough matchup, but wow, what a great backdoor cut by Georgie. That was an absolute dime by Cuffey. Hit him right in stride.
Yeah, and those 2 games that we mentioned, those not at the half yet. They're in the first half, so still a ways to go, and we'll update you on those throughout the night.
Very interesting.
We've seen in this conference this year, anybody can beat just about anybody, and that's fun. It's also scary when you're a team like Liberty. It's a 1 seed, or North Florida that's a 2.
You're absolutely right. You get into these tournaments, everybody knows each other so well that sometimes those seeding numbers don't mean a whole lot. Now they got Willis chasing Homesley. Let's see.
Homesley trying to split the 2 defenders, hits the deck, ball loose, picked up by NJIT. Let's check in once again with Emily.
Yeah, guys, in that last NJIT huddle, the message was keep rebounding, contest everything, and then head coach Brian Kennedy looked directly at Shaquan Gibbs and Diego Willis and said, we need you guys flying around.
Yeah, well, they certainly are. No shortage of flying around. They have been doing that. They just need some shots to fall. They're just 3 of 18 from the field. Homesley taking contact. Oh, no, they wave it off. Oh, wow.
I don't understand.
I don't know what you wave off. It looked like the contact was as the shot was going up. Let's take another look. If they got the foul, who'd they call it on that?
On Diakite with the block, or
no? They called it on Cooks, which makes that an even worse call because Cooks was the second man.
I was going to say maybe if it was Diakite, he's still on the drive, but I don't know. Well, the guys in stripes don't care what we think.
That's
they
right.
make the call.
We've learned that over the years.
We support out.
What a pass, whipping it across court. Kyle Rhodes in rhythm, no.
And Rhodes gotten some good looks. They just haven't fallen. Flames 1 for 8 from 3.
Cooks. Wow, pretty finish. That kid is fearless.
He's got a Russell Westbrook kind of attitude when he goes off the dribble, man. He just took it right in there.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, you can see that mentality of when he's going, look out.
7-point ball game, under 5 to go here in the first half. Scottie James with it. Caleb Homesley, been quiet here the last few minutes. Drives, lays it in, contact, and they'll call a block. Block underneath, going against NJIT. As we see that last bucket from Cooks.
Up, under, and through. 2 defenders. Tough move by Zach Cooks.
A foul call on Diego Willis. Homesley will get the chance.
Yeah, I think
3-point play now.
I think Willis saw it coming and tried to take the charge. I think he was inside the restricted area, too far under the basket.
Scottie James has a seat for Liberty. Baxter Bell and Cuffey back in here. Homesley with a free throw coming. And he gets it to go. 7 points now for the ASUN Player of the Year. This is kind of that dangerous part of a ball game for NJIT. You've kind of been single-digit ball game, but you're not careful here. Liberty goes on a run before the break, and you might be out of it. Diakite going to work on Baxter Bell. A couple of big bodies going at it down low.
Yeah, I mean, the refs have been consistent. They've let that banging go, and I like it. 2 big centers going at each other. That was good basketball right there.
Baxter Bell, a guy's been plagued by foul issues at times. He's probably liking it too.
Yeah,
let's go.
He'd say, let us bang. That's good. Oh, wow.
Homesley gets it to Cuff. No hesitation. 3-ball. No good out of the hand of Mayo Baxter Bell. He knocked down a couple. It was in the game against NJIT actually earlier this year. Tried his hand that time with no luck.
Yeah, if you're NJIT, you just want to play good basketball. You've hung around in this first half. You don't want to do anything that would contribute to a Liberty run.
Baxter Bell hands off to Pacheco. He's got a lane, now gives it back to Mayo. Foul, and he'll force it up. Earn himself a couple of free throws. And will get us to a timeout. Suleiman Diakite trying to create some offense for the Highlanders. Hasn't always been easy tonight. 20-12, Liberty on top of NJIT in this ASUN quarterfinal. It's over 3.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Here's a look at Brent Tolsma, Liberty track and field coach, longtime coach, announced he'll retire at the end of the outdoor season. I think, and I should know this number, it's something like 78 Conference Coach of the Year awards.
Amazing.
During his time at Liberty. One of the all-time greats.
Yeah.
And just a great representative as well.
Yeah, just a great coach, a guy that always did right by his athletes, trained them in not only track and field, but how to have integrity, how to grow up to be great men and women. If the word GOAT was ever applicable, it's Coach Tolsma.
No doubt about it. Flames coming off an indoor track and field championship here this past weekend. Mayo Baxter Bell heads to the free throw line. He's knocked down a couple of free throws already tonight. Mayo had 14 in the last meeting with NJIT. He's 4 for 4 from the stripe. The Flames push that lead back out to double digits. Matches their largest lead of the night. Diego Willis with it. Remember, he hit 3 threes the last time these teams played. Some big shots, especially in the second half for them. Diakite trying to get free, couldn't do it. Willis going to launch, and it's off the mark. Check in once again with Emily Austin.
Matt, the communication in that Liberty huddle was very apparent, and it was Caleb Homesley being extremely vocal with his teammates, telling them exactly how NJIT is playing certain guys, and just giving a lot of information on what he sees on the floor. So you can tell that he's really taking a step up with his leadership vocally in that huddle.
Well, they go right to him, working on Walsh. Good defense, as he's able to make that a tough look for Caleb. Yeah, you know, that's the beauty of this Liberty team. There are so many veterans and guys who are students of the game. At times, they can kind of almost coach themselves.
Yeah, teaching themselves, teaching the younger guys.
Diakite catches, lays it in on the other side of the hoop. 7 points now for Suleiman Diakite. He has most points for the Highlanders so far tonight. Is really no one else has been able to get it going.
Yeah, and so again, if you're NJIT and you're like, hey, we're in this game and Zach Cooks really hasn't scored, Shaquan Gibbs hasn't scored, they got to be feeling good.
George Pacheco gives it to Baxter Bell, 8 on the shot clock. Mile hands off to Homesley, gets in the lane, swooping through, couldn't finish it. Here come the Highlanders, a chance to cut into this Flames lead. Cook's gonna launch the 3. Off the mark, rebound to Diakite. Willis now drives, gives it right back to Diakite, who lays it up and in. Suleiman Diakite with 9 points as he is scratching and clawing and helping these Highlanders get back into this one.
He's had some great possessions, posting up. That time Willis makes a nice penetration to the paint and receives a dish.
I think we had an official get injured across the way.
Yeah, I just caught it out of the corner of my eye. He kind of rolled his ankle.
He's grimacing over there. And we're going to get a timeout on the floor, I believe, as he's trying to walk off.
Liberty trainer Aaron Schreiner right there to offer assistance.
Probably a few words of comedic relief, I would imagine, knowing Schreiner as well.
Yeah. Schreiner's probably offering, hey, I'll put the striped shirt on and I'll call it.
Yeah. Well, Zach Cooks has been relatively quiet so far tonight. Just the 4 points, 2 of 7 shooting. We mentioned coming into the ball game, he was just 6 of 43 in his career against the Flames. And it's been a bit of a struggle. He's got a couple of buckets of fall, but they are going to need him to heat up. And remember back in that matchup a couple of weeks ago, it was about this time, you're like, boy, they've locked him up, they shut him down, and then it was bang, bang, 2 quick threes right before the half. They kind of got him going a little bit.
Yeah, and again, you know, you're sort of like playing a waiting game. You know he's going to score at some point, and you've got to be feeling good if you're the Highlanders. You know, you got this game close. Diakite's playing well, and you're like, man, if we can just get into halftime, they'll be feeling good.
Well, the official says, I'm good to go. I'm ready. So we will continue.
Here they come again with the full court pressure, and they've not gotten steals out of it, but they're making Liberty work as they bring the ball up, making them think.
Boy, that pass, that had...
And there's the turnover.
That was a disaster from the start. That was a line drive that Scottie James really had no chance of snagging.
Yeah, I think Scottie was expecting kind of a floater, and George Pacheco-Ortiz kind of gave him the heater.
The fastball there, yeah. Sometimes you cross up your catcher and that happens.
But again, NJIT, they put the pressure on and it works that time.
Gibbs gives it up, gets it right back top of the key. Now Willis looking in the post. They go to Diakite. He's had the hot hand. Here comes the double team.
Yeah, they double it that time. A good decision by Liberty.
Walsh, quick 3. I think the crowd got him shooting a little early. There were about 4 seconds left on the shot clock. They were giving him the old early countdown.
Yeah, Riley Walsh fell for it. He did. He had time to catch it and gather himself, but didn't want to risk it. Flames just haven't been able to score several times down the floor.
They're coming up on 3 minutes since their last bucket. McGee swooping through the lane, off the window, no. That one goes out of bounds, and it'll go back to NJIT. Flames have gotten a couple of decent looks at the rim here in the last few possessions, just haven't been able to finish.
It gets there, and he's got to put a little reverse English on it, just doesn't quite put enough on there. Good call by the officials. A lot of hands up there, but they make the right call. It goes out on Scottie James.
A 9 seconds difference between shot clock and game clock. Cooks working on Cuffey. Offense and against defense, and the block comes from James. Good help. Here come the Flames. A chance for the last bucket before the break.
They got time for a couple passes.
Cuffey catches, fires off the mark. Cooks now racing the other way, trying to beat the buzzer. Hanging in the lane, throws it up, no. So after all of that, Liberty will take a 6-point lead to the half. And if you're NJIT,
yes, you
have
great.
to be thrilled with where you're sitting right now.
Yeah, 2-possession game going into halftime. As you're the 8th seed playing the 1, they got to be feeling good. Liberty shouldn't be feeling bad. They played out of sync, but they got good shots. They know those will fall in the second half.
Yeah, that scoring drought there. Tighten it up a little bit. And Emily Austin standing by right now with Richie McKay.
Coach, definitely feels like a tournament game out there. 6-point lead going into the half. Are you happy and pleased with the shots that you guys are getting on offense?
Yeah, I think we're getting good shots. We look nervous. Like, I get that it's a tournament, it's a postseason. I think we'll shake that off. But usually the team that's the most aggressive is going to have a great chance to win, and we just look a little bit tentative.
All right, thanks, Coach. Best of luck in the second half. Matt, back over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Emily. Liberty goes the final 3:34 without a bucket, allowing NJIT to creep back in, and that sets up what should be a great second half. When we come back, first half stats and highlights. You're watching the ASUN Championship on ESPN+. Halftime at the Vine Center. Liberty leading NJIT 22-16 in this ASUN Championship quarterfinal. Jonas, when these teams met 2.5 weeks ago, it was a low-scoring game that night, too. It was actually 23-21, Flames on top at halftime 2.5 weeks ago. So this is kind of similar to what we saw then.
Yeah, I think so. And so it's not been sloppy. Both teams low in the turnovers. Yeah. They're getting good looks, but neither team's shooting real well. But it's going to get interesting.
Yeah, speaking of that, let's take a look at the stats in the first half presented by Carter Bank and Trust. And you talk about that shooting percentage. Yeah. That's exactly right. Liberty shooting just 33% in the first half, just 25% shooting for the Highlanders.
Both teams combined like 2 for 19.
2 of 19 from three.
From three. So whoever can probably break out of that slump the quickest in the second half could really be at a great advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at some of those scores from around the conference as we creep towards halftime in the other games. North Florida and Jacksonville, they are in a shootout down there. It's 47-41. It'll be interesting to see if Jacksonville can keep pace as they get into the second half.
Yeah, that's the kind of game North Florida wants.
And Stetson was down big early. They have clawed their way back, and they now lead North Alabama. That's a really intriguing ball game.
Yeah, Rob Perry, freshman of the year, is scoring well, so that's going to be an interesting one to watch.
There's those first half stats. Okay. Take a look at that. The shooting percentage, as we told you about, pretty awful here at this point. Turnovers, just 2 for NJIT. They have gotten looks. They have taken care of the basketball. And like you said, you figure some of those are going to start to fall in the second.
Yeah, and points in the paint's key. Scottie started off for Liberty, but then Suleiman Diakite came up big in the second half of that first segment.
Highlights from the first half when we return to Lynchburg. 22-16, about to start the second half of play here. Paul Naskin, Matt Warner here on the call. And let's check in with Emily Austin, who was standing by with Brian Kennedy a moment ago.
Coach, you guys shot just 25% in the first half, but only down 6. You have to be pretty pleased with your defense in that first half.
I thought defensively we did a good job. I thought we had some open looks. We just didn't knock them down. So, not an offensive juggernaut this first half, but we'll get after it the second half.
What was your message to Zach Cooks as he looks to get hot and score well for you guys to win this ball game?
To let the game come to him, not to force things. Let the game come to him. He'll get his looks and go from there.
Awesome. Best of luck in the second half, Coach. Matt, back over to you guys.
Yeah, thanks to Emily. Flames start off the second half by turning the basketball over. So NJIT a chance to continue to make this crowd at the Vine Center awfully nervous. Instead, Diakite steps out of bounds there along the baseline and gives it right back.
Yeah, Flames 6 turnovers already just as we start the second half here. That is uncharacteristic of them, but again, some of that credit NJIT and the pressure.
Well, as you were saying at the half, man, you have to feel good if you're the Highlanders, because you had so many guys have quiet first halves that you know can go off. And here you are still very much in this game. Diakite, the denial.
Wow.
Went up and challenged Caleb Homesley and turned it aside.
Big time block by Diakite.
Cook's going to pull it back out. Has Homesley on him. And he give it to Diakite now, driving on Scottie James, and they'll get Scottie for the foul.
Yeah, I'm not sure Scottie expected that for Diakite to take it off the dribble.
He's playing with a lot of confidence right
now. He sure is. He's one of those guys that's young, just seemed like he got better all season long. Doing some really nice things for the Highlanders.
Shaquan Gibbs, scoreless in the first half, 0 of 3 from the field. Gives it to Cooks, right back to Gibbs. He'll put it on the deck. Tough shot, fading away over the top of McGee, and he can't connect.
Yeah, good contest by McGee, and with his athleticism, he gets up high on his shot contests.
So Liberty has been in an offensive funk. They give it to Cuffy, lays it up, and he missed it. Boy, he cannot buy a basket right now.
Yeah, he kind of caught it in a very awkward area.
The look on his face right now.
He's sort of half on one side, half on the other, and he kind of got a little bit trapped underneath the basket. His teammates are a little smack on the butt, shake it off.
Last 7 games, he's averaging less than 3 points per contest, and so far tonight, 0 of 4 from the field.
Well, one thing that never wavers when it comes to Cuffy is his defensive commitment.
Diakite gets it to Cooks. Cuffy on him. Cooks driving, kicking. Brinson with 4 on the shot clock, steps out of bounds. Well, that is something you cannot do if you're looking to not only come back in the ballgame, but also if you're looking to knock off the top seed. You can't give away possessions. They've given away a couple here early in the second half.
Yeah, Diakite steps on the baseline. That time Brinson on the sideline. It was a very clean game first half for NJIT. Turnovers back to back. That hurts.
McGee gives it to Scottie James. Goes up strong. He couldn't finish. And here come the Highlanders. Brinson corner 3. Bang! That goes down. And we've got a 3-point ball game.
Just looking kind of rusty, Matt. I mean, the ball's moving. Guys are getting shots. Just can't get the ball to fall.
There's some nervous energy in the building right now, I think it's fair to say. Cuffy had the open 3, passed on it, now gives it to Homesley, who flushes it with 2 hands. That'll get the crowd into it.
That was not rattling out. Good off-the-ball movement by Caleb.
Brinson now driving. Couldn't finish it, but does draw the foul. He'll earn himself a couple of free throws. So Brinson starting to warm up. Here's the 3 from a moment ago. And then at the other end, Liberty finding Caleb Homesley cutting to the hoop. Caleb up to 9 points to lead the way for Liberty. Brinson gets the friendly roll. He's up to 7 tonight. His last meeting with Liberty, he scored just 2 points. He was one of those guys you talk about who's going to be the Robin to Cook's Batman. He was the guy that really didn't play well the last time these teams met, at least not offensively. It's just 1 or 2 here.
It's been both bigs. Diakite and Brinson leading the scoring column for the Highlanders.
Checo working on Cooks. Cuffy now lobbing inside over 2 defenders. Homesley couldn't convert, but he'll go to the free throw line. Well, listen, Cuffy may be struggling with his shot, but these last 2 possessions, he has delivered some fantastic feeds to Caleb Homesley.
Sure has, and that one, man, what a tough pass right there. I mean, that thing has to be exactly on the money. Caleb holds his seal.
He's throwing it into double coverage.
Yeah. Knowing that the receiver can go, you got Homesley there, he's going to go up and get it. But that's a great Little two-man game there between Cuffey and Homesley.
Chance of MVP echoing throughout the Vine Center as Homesley gets the first free throw to fall. 2 of 2 from the stripe. He's shooting 70% from the line now over the last 7 games. So he really seems to have found his stroke at the free throw line. The Flames lead back up to 6. Still a long way to go in this one.
Yeah.
Brinson, a lot more aggressive here in the second half. Oh my! Rising up is Homesley to swat it off the backboard. Now McGee driving, laying it up and in.
Wow, fearless by McGee, taking it right at Diakite. Soft touch off the glass.
Here comes the trap. Yep, they kick it out. Cooks.
A nice job for NJIT getting out of that trap.
Step back 3, short, gets his own rebound. Kicks it out. Gibbs gonna launch one. Whoa, that was way too long. Gibbs he's thrown up at least 3 shots now that have missed the rim completely.
Flames escape because they did not do a good job solidifying the rebound. Giving NJIT a couple of good open looks.
James catches it on the block. Working on Diakite. Tripped up. Doesn't matter. Takes it up with the left hand and scores.
They're letting the big guys battle.
Flames lead back out to 10. Matches their largest lead of the night. Diakite gets it.
Yeah, they need to feed the Highlanders need to feed their bigs. Brinson and Diakite have had the hot hand.
Brinson gonna launch. No, the rebound knocked out of bounds off of the hand of Diakite, and it will go back to the Flames.
We are seeing 2 big guys really battle. They are going at it. Very exciting.
And the momentum slowly, you feel like, shifting back towards the Flames if they push that lead back out to double digits. 30-20, Liberty on top. We talked about the offense for NJIT. It's been a struggle tonight, but one guy that's really done his part has been Suleiman Diakite. Strong first half, 9 points, 4 rebounds as well. Sophomore that really seems to be coming into his own here in the latter portions of this season.
Yeah, again, we've seen him make some great shots tonight, but again, he's a great defensive presence back there, Matt. We saw a big-time block a couple possessions ago on Caleb Homesley. He is doing it at both ends.
They're going to need some other guys to chip in.
Yeah, I thought Batman was going to be Cooks tonight, but it looks like it's Diakite.
Yeah, Cooks 2 of 10 from the field, and Emily said it at the outset. He told her this week, it's not Liberty's defense so much as I'm just missing shots. But now in the 5th game of you missing a lot of shots, I don't know if it's if it gets in your head a little bit. Certainly Liberty, we know, is great defensively as Homesley comes up short on that triple. But you got to think there's a little bit of a mental block as well.
NJIT had switched into the zone. Let's see if they stay with that. They got the miss and the rebound they needed.
Cooks has the top of the key. Gives it to Walsh in the corner. Thought about the 3. Now put it on the deck. Driving. Working on Pacheco. Little bump. No whistle. And couldn't connect off the glass.
Great D by Georgie right there.
They get it right in the hands of Homesley. Walsh out on him. In the first half, that was a problem when those 2 hooked up.
And they've switched back man, so let's see if they find the mismatch.
They get it to Homesley, cutting through the lane, and he's fouled. They're going to get that one on Walsh, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Cooks reaching in, maybe.
You're right. What ended up going on Cooks, that's number 2.
And not a bad job by Cooks. You know, you see Homesley getting ready to curl, and he had the advantage on Riley Walsh, so maybe take a stab at it. A lot of times Cooks will poke that away or get a steal.
Scottie James has a seat. Now Baxter Bell checks in. Flames will pull it out. Caleb Homesley waiting for that screen. Driving. Backing it back out. 10 on the shot clock. He thought about the deep 3. Now step back triple. That goes down.
Wow. I think Caleb just wanted to keep that. You know, that a lot of dribble and uncharacteristic, but I really felt that he needed a big-time basket.
Check in once again with Emily Austin.
admitted that when NJIT looked at the scores after they beat Kennesaw State and knew that Liberty lost to Lipscomb, Cooks admitted to me that it gave them a little bit more confidence. They looked at each other and said, hey, we won our last game and they lost, so maybe their mindset is a little messed up going into this quarterfinals game. And remember, records don't matter from the regular season anymore in tournament play.
That's right. They just need to find some offense right now as Homesley gives it up. Good ball movement. Deflected by Cooks. Somehow it's batted to Georgie Pacheco. And he cans the triple. Some way, somehow it goes down.
That was a great possession on both sides. NJIT really scrambled defensively. Almost got a steal. Got the deflection. But great composure by Georgie Pacheco Ortiz to stick the three.
Cooks with it, top of the key, gives it to a cutting Diakite, who lays it in.
Wow, Cooks threaded the needle there, right in the hands of the big fella.
Diakite up to 11 points. That was his first bucket of the second half. They're going to pull him away from the hoop now as Baxter Bell initiates the offense.
Yeah, they got that open post.
Open three, missed everything out of the hand of Darius McGee. Cooks. He only knows one speed. Wow. That's full speed. That one denied. Cuffey with the rejection. Flames on the move and a foul. Diego Willis smartly.
Yes, good foul by Willis.
Commits the foul on Georgie Pacheco. So we had three a moment ago from Georgie.
All the way around the horn, like they say. Cooks gets a hand on it.
Cuffey stayed with it. Kind of punched it over to Georgie.
Man.
Well, it has been, I think it's fair to call it a little chaotic at times tonight between these two teams.
It just shows you how every possession, guys are going all out, 100%, reaching, banging, trying to get steals, deflections. Yeah, looks like they're in the zone. Takes a second or two for Liberty to recognize what they're up against.
Homesley checked out. Kyle Rode gives it to Baxter Bell in the paint, looking for some help now. Out to Cuffey. 8 on the shot clock. Pacheco gonna drive.
That zone is really spread.
Hesitates, throws it up, draws the foul. We have said it all 4 years he's been in Lynchburg.
Yes.
When he gets to that point, he is so crafty and finds a way to get himself to the line. That'll get us to a timeout. Game On is the exclusive TV program for all things Liberty Athletics. Watch this weekly 30-minute show to get caught up on the highlights, hear from the coaches, and see inspirational feature stories about current Liberty athletes and alums. Check out Game On every week to stay connected to Flames Athletics, the stories, the purpose, the Flames. Follow along at Game On LU. Let's get some of the scores around the conference tonight. Everyone playing for their season at this point. North Florida, Jacksonville. Still fairly tight there as North Florida's gone in front. And North Alabama and Stetson, that one looking like it could go down to the wire as well. Stetson down big, down early in that ballgame and climbed their way back into it. Meanwhile, Lipscomb and FGCU tight, that one early in the first half there in Nashville. We'd like to remind you, remember, the ASUN, they'll reseed after tonight. So Liberty could play a number of different opponents, depending on how this all shakes out. And depending on if they're able to close this one out. This one far from done here, 11:50 to go. Pacheco hits both free throws. He's a 94% free throw shooter on the season. He's got 7 points now on the night. Liberty stretching that lead out to 13. Largest lead of the evening. Great find. The cutting Brinson throws it down.
Yeah, they pulled Diakite away from the basket, really opened up the paint. Nice pass by the big fella and a great cut by Brinson.
He's up to 9 points now, 6 of them here in the second half. Pacheco trying to turn the corner. Brinson cuts him off. Now they get it to Baxter Bell. Couldn't finish over Diakite. Willis, mid-range jumper. Off the mark. Rebound batted around. Finally taken by Cuffey. He wants to go. Gives it off to McGee and smartly pulls up.
Yeah, Flames didn't have numbers. Get settled, run a little offense.
Road, freshman out of Kentucky, swings it to McGee. 10 on the shot clock. He'll back it out. Willis on it. Gets the screen. Nearly picked off. It is by Cooks. He takes it. Working on Cuffey. Drives it in and lays it up for 2. First points of the second half for Zach Cooks. Let's see if that gets him going.
Yeah, just a little too much hardwood in between McGee and Cuffey, and Cook shoots the gap for an easy run out.
Baxter Bell hands it to Cuffey, challenging Diakite, and he gets the roll.
And that's no easy task.
No.
Diakite with the great outstretched arm.
Brinson behind the back dribble, hangs and draws the foul. Boy, he can be so difficult. The length that he provides. You take a look at that steal a moment ago by Cooks.
Cooks, great instincts, great hands. For the steal and the run out, big basket. There you can see Cuff again, even with some of his shooting woes. Had the confidence to take it in there against the big fella. Yeah, Brinson, Matt, you said it. He's deceptive.
Yeah.
Such a big guy, but he can be so explosive, even out on the perimeter, going off the dribble.
Just a junior out of Thompson, Georgia. Knocks them both down, 11 points for San Antonio Brinson. Liberty's lead cut to 9.
Where you see the zone now again. They've been mixing it up.
Flames get James and Homesley back into the ball game. Taylor passes on that 3 in the corner.
It's extended, so they got it into the heart of the zone right there.
Good feed into James. Baxter Bell found him. Scottie laid it in with the left hand.
Yeah, there's a lot of room to work in that zone because it's so extended. So Mayo, Baxter Bell gets in there. Nice patience. Scottie finds an open seam.
Brinson, aggressive to the rack, lays it off the window.
Tough shot.
You're seeing him kind of saying,
yeah.
Listen, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want our season to end here. He has been aggressive here in the second half. 10 points so far in the first 11 minutes here in half number 2. Homesley, boy, that's a tough catch as James was cutting towards him. So the turnover, 8th of the ball game for Liberty. Gives it back to NJIT, a bucket here, and again, they're just doing enough
to
stay in this game.
Absolutely, doing a great job. Being patient. Working it around, getting the shot that they want from the guy that they want.
Freshman LeVar Williams in there, gives it to Diakite, whips it across court. And a foul on the floor as they got Homesley reaching in. So Willis put it on the deck there. That'll be the 4th team foul on the Flames. Just the 2nd on Homesley, and he'll have a seat. Take that back. That's number 3 on Kid. Kennedy calls in a play from the sideline. I think they try to get it back to Brinson. He's had the hot hand here in the second half.
Well, they're playing in this open post.
Cooks driving. That may have been partially blocked by Cuffey. He looked at the official. The official held his hands out, looked at him and said, "What do you want me to call?"
No, I don't see anything. Great. Cuffey went high, deflected it, was able to possess it. Great defensive possession there by Cuff.
Darius McGee, rhythm triple. It goes down.
That time, he did his little hop step, got himself fully on balance. Pure.
Williams, long 2. That's off the mark. I'm not sure if that's the shot you want.
Yeah, and there was nobody in. You know, Diakite was still out trying to set screens on the perimeter. There was no defender, no rebounders there for NJIT.
Scottie James driving on Brinson. Now throws it, nearly threw it away. Chased down by Georgie Pacheco, 8 on the shot clock. Georgie, now he's looking for help. It's knocked out of his hands by Cooks. He is so quick, sneaking those hands in there. Brinson, extra pass, corner 3 from Williams. That goes down. First bucket of the ball game for the freshman out of Massachusetts, and it's a big one.
Playing with a lot of poise, NJIT is.
We get a timeout on the floor. San Antonio Brinson has come alive in the second half. 10 points in the half, 13 on the game, doing all he can to keep the Highlanders within shouting distance of the Flames. Time for our Church Mutual Insurance defensive play of the game, and Caleb Homesley with the rejection, swatting it off the window as San Antonio Brinson thought he had a good opportunity there. It was denied, and then quickly they turned that defense to offense as Darius McGee got the bucket on the other end. That's a little bonus. That's not part of really the defensive play, but we like to give you a little extra on the end.
Well, it sort of makes it more impressive of a defensive play that you can maybe turn into a run out and get 2 points out of it, but
Caleb Homesley tonight, 14 points.
What a night.
7 rebounds. You saw that block there a moment ago. He's got a couple of those. Doing a little bit of everything for the Flames. Does have the 3 fouls, but back on the court now. With more on Caleb, let's check in once again with Emily Austin.
Guys, he's not just the defensive player of the game. He also has a game-high 14 points for Liberty. I also asked NJIT head coach Brian Kennedy, have you found an answer to stopping or at least slowing down Homesley? Guys, before I could even finish my question, Kennedy said, no, you just have to make him work for every basket he gets because obviously he's a heck of a player. And once he gets into a rhythm, it's hard to stop him. We just have to be aware of him at all times when he's on the court. I know you have some coaching experience, Matt Warner, maybe at the youth level, but how do you stop Homesley?
I didn't have any Homesleys on my kindergarten first grade team, I can tell you that. Wish I did. Might have had an even better season. That'll get us to a timeout. Liberty leading by 9. As we remind you, this presentation of college basketball brought to you by Foster Fuels, exceeding expectations since 1921, and by Carter Bank and Trust, proud of the past. Well, we told you it was physical tonight. Even during the timeouts, it's physical here in this battle between Liberty and NJIT. Take a look at the bracket once again. Here, the ASUN Championship. North Alabama, Stetson going at it right now. All 4 games rather in progress as we speak. And a lot of them close as we take a look at the scoreboard. Give you a little update on what's happening around the league. North Florida starting to separate a bit from Jacksonville. Jamari Blackman has 18 for North Alabama, but Stetson with a slim lead, and it's tight early. Lipscomb and FGCU still in the first half. Keep an eye on those throughout the rest of the night. As Caleb Homesley misses his first free throw. One more coming for the ASUN Player of the Year. He was the preseason Player of the Year, and then he backed it up throughout the conference season, certainly, but can't connect on either free throw there. So NJIT, I feel like every possession, especially now, you're getting down to 6 minutes of the game, every possession is so important. They're trying to turn the pressure up on the Flames. Willis, 3 ball, off the mark. Fight for the rebound, and it comes to McGee. You see the Flames, too. They put Shiloh Robinson in there on Brinson, a guy with some length, athleticism as well, maybe even.
And a guy that's picked up the defense very well for a freshman. They've talked about him all year.
So they're counting on him here in some critical moments.
Yeah, give him a chance to grow up a little bit in the tournament game.
8 on the shot clock. Homesley backs it out. Trying to drive on Willis. Contested 3 ball. Short. Scottie James skies for the offensive board. Corner 3 for Cuffey. Too strong. Got another open look. Couldn't connect, and here comes Gibbs. In traffic. At a tie-up. It is. Cuffey got that hand in there. Got the jump ball. Possession arrow will keep it, though, with the Highlanders. Robinson checks out. George Pacheco comes back in for the Flames. That defensive play a moment ago.
They're Cuff in a help position. Reaches in there.
Cooks, just 6 points in the ball game. Gets it back on the wing. Long two. Wow. He looks at his hand like, well, I didn't really expect that to work, but it goes down one way or another. He's got 8 points now, and the lead cut to just 7. He probably deserves one of those with the type of luck he's had against the Flames.
The rim felt some mercy on him.
Duffy feeding the post. James gets it. Working on Diakite, goes around him and draws the foul. Look at that last shot from Zach Cooks. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there it is. Oh, he's also asking for a foul. Yeah, you might as well. So James with the stripe. Liberty today, 9 of 11. Missed their last 2. That goes down for Scottie. He's got 11 points tonight. Go along with 8 rebounds.
Another great outing. And they can get him touches. They've decided to play those big guys one-on-one.
It's just 1 of 2.
So my money be on Scottie. Give him touches. Let him work down there.
Shaquan Gibbs. The veteran gives it to Diakite on the wing. Now Cooks has it.
A lot of movement by NJIT.
Deflected, but Diakite ends up tracking it down. Spins baseline. Goes up strong. Blocked by Scottie James. Brian Kennedy can't believe it. He's screaming for a foul. So a big defensive stand. Little bump now by Gibbs. And Kennedy is still incensed.
Yeah, but I mean, he just ran into him. And yeah, I mean, that was completely clean. And certainly, Matt, in the context of this game, the way the refs have called that's not even close to being a foul.
No doubt.
Yeah. They've let the big guys bang. And I mean, that looked clean to me. But
Duffy shooting 1-on-1, gets the first to go. Coach Kennedy still arguing his case.
Yeah, well, he's arguing his case, and Coach McKay's over there telling the other refs there's too much talking on the free throw line. And he's right.
Duffy gets them both to fall. Liberty pushes that lead back out to 10. Seems like every time NJIT has tried to climb back in, Liberty's just kind of held them at arm's length. Diakite now drives right into James and is able to pick up the foul. That'll get us to a timeout. Just under 4 minutes to go. Liberty leads it by 10 as they look to advance in the ASUN. Liberty with a 10-point lead over NJIT. Suleiman Diakite able to draw a foul last time down for the Highlanders. 11 points tonight. Good job defensively. Chipped in with 6 rebounds as well. One of the top rebounders in the ASUN Conference.
Yeah, I mean, a block shot and some altered shots, which you don't always get credit for, but doing a good job at both ends tonight, Matt.
He's got 11. Brinson with 13. Cooks with just the 8 points. You keep waiting for him to kind of catch fire. It just hasn't happened yet.
But you know what? He's not forcing shots, and I think that's really helping them tonight.
Kicks that one to Brinson. Corner 3. Way strong. Scottie James grabs the rebound.
You know, Coach Kennedy said, oh, there he is again. Look at him. Cooks is everywhere. You cannot rest. He'll sneak up behind you and poke it away. But Coach Kennedy said that about Cooks. Let the game come to you, and I think he's done that. He's not forced shots tonight. They're playing within more of a team offense, and it's really helping them.
Great feed from Homesley to James. It's knocked out of bounds and will stay with Liberty, as Brinson was able to get a hand in there and poke it away. Just under 3.5 minutes to go. Liberty, the 1 seed in the ASUN, trying to advance
Liberty's got to realize they've only got 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Harris McGee, he doesn't worry about that. Step back, deep three, too short. Look at Scottie James, almost finished it with the lay-in. Oh my, great effort from James, couldn't quite get the roll. Now the lob into Diakite, good pass, and he lays it up and in. 8-point ball game. Here comes the pressure. Now they'll back it off. Homesley guarded by Brinson. Flames content to get deep into that shot clock. But they have struggled here over 5 minutes now since their last field goal. Homesley passing into the post. James comes up short. Brinson the rebound. Another golden opportunity for NJIT to turn up the heat.
Yeah, they've been playing tough D, getting the stops and rebounds they need.
Cooks, he wants to launch. He can sense it. Now put it on the deck. Kicks. Gibbs gives it up. 3-ball coming. Off the mark. Well, I know you want Cooks to let the game come to him, but there's also kind of that crunch time where you want your star to be a star.
Yeah, where you'll want him to take over and try to go get something.
2 minutes remaining in the ball game.
Yeah, this is interesting here. They've got Scottie at the top of the key, starting the offense.
3-ball from Homesley. Well strong. Cooks gets it on the move. Yeah, little stutter step. Forces it up, and they're going to call a foul on the Flames, and we'll get Cooks to the line. Foul call on Georgie Pacheco. Reaching in. Although, looks like it might have been McGee that did more damage. Either way, it'll get Cooks to the free throw line. So a couple of free throws. A chance to get this down to a 2-possession game.
Yeah, they have really done a great job.
It's the first.
They're playing tough D. They're getting stops. They're rebounding.
Cooks a 78% free throw shooter on the year. Scottie James checks out. Baxter Bell comes in. Gets them both. Brian Kennedy wants a timeout. 6-point ball game. The Highlanders have not gone away.
Yeah, they have come in here with renewed life, tournament approach.
And we've said it before, Naz. This Flames team is a team that hasn't played a lot of really tight games down the stretch this season.
Yeah, you and I have talked about that. You know, they've won comfortably the vast majority of their games. Now, again, that's a great job, but there's a different mentality, a different way to play when you're in a 1 or 2 possession game for long periods of time. And so, again, the upside for Liberty is you have a lot of seniors, a lot of guys that have been through these games, even last year, if it wasn't so much this year, but they're experienced. But I'm really impressed with the way the Highlanders have come out from the tip. They have fought and really kept themselves in a position to where this game is still in the balance.
Yeah, you talk about you want your stars to be stars in crunch time. Caleb Homesley has kind of been that guy down the stretch for the Flames throughout this season, especially in conference play when they need a bucket. He's been there to get it. Flames handle the pressure.
And Gibbs is all over George Pacheco. This is great. What a great atmosphere. This is tournament time.
Comes a double team. Passes out of it. And now a foul committed. Brinson fouls Mile Baxter Bell with 14 on the shot clock. So they're going to send Mile to the line, shooting 1-1 on the year. He's a 71% free throw shooter. So some big free throws coming. You talk about senior leaders. You talk about experience. Liberty has a lot of it. This is where you hope it shows up. Closing out ball games. And he misses the front end. Here come the Highlanders, down just 6. Cooks using the screen. Gets in the paint. Pump fake, and able to draw the foul on Homesley. So Cooks finds a way to get himself to the stripe.
They're doing what you need to do. You're down, you get a stop. Come down, Get yourself to the free throw line.
2 free throws coming
with the clock stopped.
And he gets the first to go. 11 points now for Zach Cooks. Five-point game. By the way, that was the 4th foul on Caleb Homesley. Missed the second. Baxter Bell gets the rebound.
You got to watch this pressure and trapping from NJIT.
Pacheco weaving through traffic.
You got to take care of the ball, make them foul you.
He's the 94% free throw shooter, and that's the guy the Flames want at the line.
Yeah, great poise and control by Georgie Pacheco-Ortiz. Knew they had to foul. They couldn't keep letting time tick off.
Georgie already 2 for 2 from the free throw line tonight. Still just shooting 1 and 1. And he gets the first. 8 points on the night for Georgie Pacheco. Flames fans thinking back to the North Florida game, where they were trying to close it out and miss six straight free throws to allow the Ospreys to really tighten it up at the finish line. Flames hoping to handle it a little bit better here tonight. And he gets them both.
Well, you got to try to play without fouling. If you're NJIT, a couple quick passes. Don't have to take crazy shots, but you got to get quick shots.
Cooks driving to the rim and lays it up for 2.
That was way too easy.
That's just what the doctor ordered.
But Cooks, great recognition. Nobody in help position. Explodes for the easy finish.
So a 5-point game. 1 minute to go. If you're the Flames, you want the ball in Georgie Pacheco's hands.
Yeah, so Georgie usually brings it in. They'll set up some guys to inbounds, and Georgie will step in quick. You want to get it right back to him. If you're NJIT, you're going to take some gambles. You're going to try to intercept the pass, get a deflection, maybe a quick trap. And then if they don't get it, then they'll probably try to foul. Certainly they may try to foul somebody other than Georgie Pacheco-Ortiz. You don't want to send a 90+% free throw shooter to the line, but
Liberty shooting 2 free throws the rest of the way. Georgie over 90%. Darius McGee over 80.
Yeah.
Everybody else noticeably lower than those 2.
Now in this scenario,
get it into McGee. Back to Pacheco. Not fouling yet. See if they can force a turnover.
Watch for a trap over half. Okay, they're letting him play. If you're Liberty, you just play the possession out. He feels comfortable keeping it.
Running that clock, 10 on the shot clock now. Pacheco working on the freshman. Williams takes it right to him and scores.
Matt, how many times can we say it? Georgie Pacheco-Ortiz, his decision-making is unbelievable. That time, he surveyed the court, saw that the post had cleared out, saw his open lane, took it, big-time finish.
We've called him Senior Big Shot for a couple of years now. He has lived up to that, and then some.
Yeah, I mean, a great finish, but a great he just recognized at that split second that the lane just kind of parted, and he seized the moment.
Let's take a look at some of those other scores quickly from around the conference. North Florida pulling away. Looks like they're going to move on. Stetson up 5 on North Alabama. That one has been tight throughout. And FGCU, how about them giving Lipscomb all they want in Nashville?
I know, and so you got these scores plus the game going on here. Every one of these games has been competitive. Throw the seeds out the window. It's been a great night for ASUN basketball.
The officials adjusted the game clock. They said it ran a little bit after the made basket, so they went and checked that out. Added a little bit of time back on. So 34.2 is what we have left in this one. As the officials are going to get together and I think explain that now to Brian Kennedy. Well, this is what you hate if you're a coach or a player. You get into crunch time, and then you get delays.
Yeah,
you get some confusion.
They called Diakite over, and I don't know if he subbed in, if he wasn't at the table in time. We can take a look at it here. You can watch the finish.
Here was the make.
And yeah, you can see how the clock continues to run a little bit.
So they added second back on.
Yeah, and so they've pulled Diakite off the court. He did not make it to the table in time to check in at the last timeout.
NJIT needing a quick bucket.
Yeah, maybe a pass or two, and you got to get a shot.
Deep three for Cooks. Rattles out. McGee skies for the rebound. Fight for it now. And he is finally fouled.
Wow. Can you believe that, Matt? A ball that's up for grabs. Who sticks their nose in there and goes up over everybody to get it? The smallest guy on the floor, Darius McGee.
5'9".
Yeah, look at all those bodies in there. That's anybody's ball. He says, no, it's my ball.
It's surrounded by Highlanders, able to hang on to it and eventually draw the foul.
And that, Matt, and that's crunch time. You have to have that rebound if you're Liberty.
They got it. McGee will head to the stripe.
And NJIT got a good look, though. I mean, you got to be in favor of a good-looking three from Zach Cooks.
McGee over 80% from the stripe this year, gets the first to go.
If you're Liberty, you get your matchups, you don't foul. If you're NJIT, hustle that ball up, maybe a pass, but you got to get a quick shot.
Misses the second. Here comes Cooks, full head of steam.
Yeah, he can pull or go all the way.
He's going to take it all the way, lays it up and in. And another quick timeout from NJIT with 17.1 to go.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to give up a three-point play. So when Cooks got that deep, great move by Cooks to get all the way to the rim, but you don't foul. You give up the two.
Well, NJIT really needing to force a turnover here. There's such little time left.
You need a steal.
6-point ball game. Yeah. If you send them to the line and a guy goes 1 and 2, you're back to a 3-possession game. You really need to sell out for that steal right here off the inbound pass.
Yeah, so if you're in that huddle over there and you coach Kennedy, you tell your guys, and you got guys that got great instincts. Gamble, you know, shade a little bit, fake, try to get somebody leaning. Maybe the inbounder makes a quick bad decision. So take some gambles. You got 17 seconds. You got to. And then if you don't get a steal, a quick foul.
Flames have just been hanging on, you feel like, here in the second half. Trying to close this one out for Georgie Pacheco. One of the all-time greats in the Flames uniform will win tonight when he has won 100th win as a member of the Flames.
Wow, all-time winningest player in men's basketball history.
And he hasn't just been along for the ride. He has played a huge role in a lot of those.
He's been the driver of this great ride for a lot of it.
He will trigger the inbound pass.
Yeah, different look now. You got 4 guys. You got Zach Cooks back here playing the rover.
That's right. Little comeback route there for McGee. They get it right back to Georgie Pacheco, and he's fouled. Boy, you spread it out, man. Hugh Freeze is watching this crowd right now, saying spread it out. You got that little comeback from McGee, and then gave it right back to the senior.
Yeah, what does he get? Trips right and left.
There you go.
Zach's playing kind of no man's land, but good job, good recognition.
Boy, you like it. Boy, you put Darius McGee in the slot. Good luck.
My goodness.
Good luck covering him. Free throw in and out. This becomes a big one.
Yeah, you need this one to make it a 3-possession game.
Missed it. Still some life for the Highlanders. They got to go quick. Cooks, pull up 3, partially deflected.
Wow.
Huge by Cuffy. The rebound for Georgie Pacheco, and the defense gets the job done.
That is a big-time block if there ever was one. And he did it without fouling. Great high contest, great timing.
Elijah Cuffy getting it done defensively time and time again.
We said it, Matt. The kid's struggling on the offensive end, but it never affects him defensively. He is unstoppable. He's unwavering in his commitment. What a big-time block right there.
Pacheco back to the free throw line again. 6.8 to go. And that may be the nail in the coffin right there.
Yeah, that makes it 3 possessions, 6.8.
Gets them both. Georgie, 13 points on the night. They will sub him out. Titus Dean will come in.
Flames did what they had to do, but Matt, you gotta tip the cap to NJIT. These kids came in there, they played their hearts out.
Cooks foul. That's not what you want to do.
Yeah, you don't want to stop that clock. But again, they came in here. They kind of did what I thought they should do: is turn up the pressure. They got great outings from Diakite, from Brinson. They fought their hearts out, made this a real competitive game. And it really took everything Liberty had to secure this victory.
Cooks, it's the free throw to fall. So he's adding some points. His total tonight up to 16. Most success he's had against Liberty in his career. Kyle Rowe to inbound it, gets it to Cuffey, and that's going to do it. It was not easy.
It was not.
There were some tense moments down the stretch. But what do you say in March, Naz? Survive and advance. Right. And that's what the Flames do tonight, moving on to the ASUN semifinals.
Yeah, it took everything they had, but it's tournament time, and these teams have life. And again, Liberty, great job securing the victory. They did what they had to do. NJIT, you got to compliment Coach Kennedy, the staff. Those kids came in here, they fought hard, made a great showing.
And in crunch time, Richie McKay teams, they show up on the defensive end, and that certainly happened here down the stretch of this ball game. Well, remember, Liberty Flames hosting the ASUN men's basketball semifinal right here at the Vine Center, March 5th, Thursday, as we mentioned. Tickets on sale now. Get yours at libertyflames.com/ASUN. Game time is 7 o'clock. The opponent still to be determined as games are still in progress around the conference. So we'll keep an eye on that as we continue on. Naz, quickly, what can you take out of this one? And who do you want? Is there an opponent that you think is a good matchup for the Flames?
Oh, I don't know. I think you worry about yourself.
Yeah.
You come out of this game, you learn what you need to fix, you clean it up, and you come back. Whoever shows up Thursday, you play hard.
Should be a good one. Naz, great call tonight. For Paul Nazigan, Emily Austin, I'm Matt Warner saying so long from Lynchburg, Virginia. For the final score is Liberty 55, NJIT 49. All games airing on the ESPN networks or streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. We'll see you right back here Thursday night.